moving on to the markets. So we actually had a daily range drawn out. It was right here. Every market was in it. So the S&P, the NASDAQ, Grandpa Dow, the Russell, they all had that rally, and then just inside for a whole week, we finally just broke out. Now, this was the Liberation Day. This is where probably a lot of sellers were, and it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of sellers, short sellers, actually caused some of this push up. And here's what I want to bring up as far as the markets go. There's been a lot of reports and that institutions were net short or still a whole bunch of cash, and this was just retail buying. The volume was a little bit light, and retail was pushing it up, which made for a scary environment because that's how you get stomped out. 4 people rallied up because just a couple bears weren't looking, and they're like, all right, hold on a second, let's put this back into reality, and then they smack it right back down. But now, the one thing that could really drive this and why we might not see a red candle, and I don't want to bring on any FOMO or anything like that, because tomorrow could equal. We're one tweet away from a giant red candle like this, or even possibly a green one. Is that if all these institutions were just in cash or short, and now we got trade deals, everything, all the excuses they brought the market down with, now all just kind of being figured out. Now they have to get in net long, and that could just drive. So retail could have taken on more risk than they probably understood. It might have just panned out this time. They're right, and now institutions need to play catch up, which is again just a big buy order that needs to fill, which could put us into all-time highs. We're a sneeze away from that anyway. Here's all-time highs. We're right there. That's next week. Hopefully we pull back. I would really like a dip buy on this. If institutions were just sitting on cash through this rally, it also means we outperformed institutions for a month. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I think a lot of them probably did. Need SPY to close below 591 tomorrow. You sold the 591 spreads? You have a call sold on that? If that's any relation to this SPY, what I do, 594, 596, there's a reason I picked that, which I will go over. In your opinion, when is the next crash? We're just kicking it off right now. Let's see. It won't be this year or next year or the year after that. So what year does that put us in? So it won't be 25, 26, or 27. So 2028. And remember this and clip it. 2028 will be our next crash. By the way, I took a clip of the video from January when Don called out this crash. Oh, nice. Is that the link? E-mini Dow Jones. I need the what I need, if you guys really want to help me out, there's a video I did last year where I talked about the crash. I said it was my opinion, my guess was March, and 485, which is how this line got drawn. So we drew this. We talked about it last year when we were looking at this. And I know everyone wanted to really blame Trump and all that, and that's fine. I've done that 4 times. So if we crash in 2028, that will be the 5th one that I've called out years in advance, and then it just magically happened. Here we go.
Hey guys, what's up? Long time no see. I'm about to start recording regular videos again, so for the 3 of you that got your hopes up,
2 days ago. Oh, let's bring this up. Hang on, we still rocking and rolling. Let's bring this up. He's got a little YouTube video going on. Is this a trap? Oh man. For the new users, let's hear it.
But I got to give her credit where credit is due. We're going to talk about the time that Don predicted the future. I was out shoveling snow when this video dropped, and you see it's dated January 15th, 2025, with a title that doesn't really draw you in. But hey, when Don posts stuff, you got to kind of listen to it sometimes, especially when you want to know what the markets are doing. And Don called out the crash that we saw this year months in advance. Now, he says in this video that he's been calling it out for a longer period of time. This just happens to be the video that I remember, because I actually went back and I somehow, I didn't know this until I started looking for this video to record this. I actually commented And man, that played out super well. So let's let Don speak for himself here.
We ended. So as I'm streaming on Sunday, told you guys bear trap. Not to toot my own horn, but this just kind of had it written all over it. Like, you know, you start to get everybody thinking maybe the crash is happening now. I've been talking about a crash that's going to happen this year. My opinion, I do think, is in March. But you know, I started talking about.
So I don't want to be misleading, right? For those that have been following the markets, you know that this was, where are we at? There's the very end of March when we made our way all the way down. So from about February 18th all the way down to the bottom on April 7th, we dropped about 20%, which is a crash. And I told you I was going to show you how I handled the crash. So let's bring up my Robinhood account here. Streamed. This is the feed from my phone, and we can see here. I basically grabbed some puts, and I was all cash, waiting for this thing to drop so that I could start loading up. And right around there is when my account popped. I didn't play it as well as I could have. I closed one put a day early before SPY. It was the big red day. Am I on the weekly? No. Oh, it was this one. I closed one of my puts here at the end of the day, expecting a bounce, and then that happened. And I got chopped around a little bit in between. Was really hoping to see that 30% move down. We only got 20%, so bummer. But as you can see, we've been doing just fine, rocking and rolling, as Don would say. We've been fine from then on. So Don says he's going to be streaming, or doing his videos, doing his mentorship stuff through 2027. If you're interested in learning about trading, you need to be following Don. I don't know how else to say this. You can't fake this stuff, guys. Sorry for all the doubters out there. I don't know how else to convince you, but this is the time that Don just happened to call out the future. So there you go. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.
That was awesome. Thank you for that. Also, I do want to. It's just gonna take some work. I want to do it every time that I've called the crash out, because even like, you know, the Rona crash, all that before it ever happened, same thing, same story, right? The year prior, talked about, don't worry, it's gonna be next year. But on that note, I almost clicked stop stream. That was dangerous when I was gonna turn the desktop volume off. Don's blushing. No, that saves me some work. And I do appreciate it. I think it's awesome. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. It lets me know someone's paying attention. It really does. Anyway, back to the markets. I guess so. That's Fall of Shadows. If you're watching this recording, you can click view live stream. You can click on his name, go to his channel. Definitely check him out. But no, you cannot make this stuff up. You can actually go back to all my videos, which eventually is something I'm going to do. I was just kind of hoping AI could do it for me. And you can go to probably September, November, January is this one, and you'll see me talk about the crash that's coming up. So I'll just say it now. What do we? Yeah, May of 25. Next one will be in 28. So the reason why, again, I sold the 494 strikes, 494, 496 call spread for this Friday, because I was kind of hoping we would just stay inside 2 standard deviations. Sounds like you needed to stay inside as well. You went right at there, right at 2 standard deviations. 95% chance we do. Now the markets did push up, and we kind of have just hung out. We're up there, and that's the one thing right now, because I've sold some options this week. I've sold some puts. They're killing it. I'm obviously up a lot on my Tesla play, and anyone else that followed that, you are as well. Congrats there. So we bought it at 280. The alert I said was 287. Plus I'm in the 370 calls. Last week I bought the 350 call for this Friday, which then gapped up this morning. Went from $1 something to $5. And I wish I would have stayed in it, because it's, well, up a lot more. Oh, it might not be now, because we're at 342. Anyway, banging trades. I feel like I might have just had a stroke. I think I Forgot where I was going. That's where I was going. As far as the markets go, everything is up, and I feel like we don't have any bearish catalysts, so it just might be one of these dumb excuses are going to pop up. It's going to be something in red. That housing starts. Everyone's going to be talking about that tomorrow. Meet Kevin will have 6 videos about it, about how it was a surpriser, and that's why the markets are down. It's going to be some dumb excuse, hopefully next week, to get things to pull back. That's what I'm looking for, because I'm buying the dip, to be clear. I'm also long right now. I'm still in Tesla, because we just don't have any real bearish catalysts. And if what I said in the beginning about institutions is right and they're playing catch up, they don't want to be buying at all-time highs. They want to be buying anything lower that they can. Whether they manipulate it and drop it down, catch a dip buy, or they're just playing catch up and just get in the market now, that's what can fuel this even more. And if anybody has been short and loaded up short on this, I think a lot of people will probably cash. If you're still short this, you're hurting, but closing your shorts, remember, it's sell to open, buy to close. So closing your short position, buy side activity. You have market makers involved now because we're outside their standard deviation. So now instead of reining it back in, they have to delta hedge, which brings us just kind of a vacuum up to this one. Everything about it could just bring on a continuation. So if you're an investor, you're hopefully almost back up to break even if you bought at the top. For everyone that traded or added on down here, you're killing it this year, which is why it's just super important to pay attention. If you are an investor, I know everyone likes to think you can buy and forget, and you can, but if you just paid a little bit of attention, not turn into a trader, you can, I don't want to say just maximize gains. There will be a night and day difference in your performance.